The Lakers an apology. Oh, man.
Hey, how about this?
Oh, man, that's so cute.
Zuri James to Dad. Throwing alley-oops.
Maybe they should sign her.
Oh.
She'll be like the 6th or 7th best player on the team.
Charles Barkley just used LeBron James's daughter to clown the entire Los Angeles Lakers roster on national television. Not subtly, not gently. In front of Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and millions of viewers watching inside the NBA. And the worst part for LeBron fanboys is that Barkley was not entirely wrong. The math on this one is genuinely uncomfortable. Do you think Charles Barkley crossed a line by bringing LeBron's daughter into the Lakers roster conversation? Or was it just harmless fun that the fanboys took too seriously? Drop your honest take in the comments right now. Let's set the scene because the context makes the moment significantly funnier and significantly more pointed than a quick clip suggests. LeBron James was in San Francisco with the Lakers ahead of their matchup against the Golden State Warriors. He had his 11-year-old daughter Zuri with him on the road for the first time in his career outside of All-Star Weekend appearances. He took her to Alcatraz. He took her to see the Golden Gate Bridge. They went to dinner the night before the game. And before tip-off, he got some work in with her on the court where she was apparently mimicking his dribbling routine.
Daughter, she was mimicking your dribbling routine. What was that moment like for you, and then be able to play in front of her and have a good win like this?
I said postgame. I missed a lot of moments, spending time with my kids because of my career. And, anytime I get over the course of my career, anytime I got moments with them, either individually, 2 of them, 3 of them all together, whatever the case may be, it's always special for me. So
the whole thing was genuinely sweet. LeBron talked about it after the game with real warmth and sincerity. He said he misses a lot of moments with his kids because of the demands of his career. He said anytime he gets time with them individually or together, it is special. He walked off the court holding Zuri's hand and got emotional talking about what it means to have a daughter, describing how having a girl 11 years ago has softened him in ways that his relationship with his 2 sons simply does not. He said it is a different kind of love. Tough love with the boys, more softness with his daughter. He called her a good luck charm after the Lakers won.
Off the court holding her hand as a girl dad would. Can you describe that?
It's special. It's special. It's definitely softened me up over the last 11 years. I had 2 boys to begin with, but getting that little girl 11 years ago, man, it's definitely softened me up. So it's special to have her. It's a different type of love. If anybody got girls and boys, it's a different type of love it's like tough love when it comes to my boys. I yell at them and stuff, whatever. They take it. They know how to approach it. It's different. It's a little softness with my daughter, so it's pretty cool.
Had she been able to go on a trip like this?
First one. She's a good luck charm.
Beautiful stuff. Genuinely touching. The kind of father-daughter moment that makes everyone watching feel something real.
Good win. Good luck charm right here. 1-0.
And then, the Inside the NBA crew got hold of the footage. Charles Barkley watched the clip of Zuri on the court with LeBron, watched her handle the ball, watched her form, watched an 11-year-old girl who has clearly been around professional basketball her entire life show some legitimate natural coordination, and said with complete deadpan confidence that Zuri James would be the 6th or 7th best player on the Lakers roster.
The Lakers an apology. Oh, man.
Hey, how about this?
Oh, man, that's so cute.
Zuri James to Dad. Throwing alley-oops.
Maybe they should sign her.
Oh.
She'll be like the 6th or 7th best player on the team.
Ernie Johnson said he owed the Lakers an apology. That was the vibe in the room.
I've been saying that for years. Turns out
just the collective recognition that Chuck had found the most efficient possible way to drag LeBron's entire team using his own daughter's recreational basketball skills as the measuring stick. Barkley even suggested the Lakers should sign her. The crowd laughed. Ernie laughed, Kenny laughed. The whole panel understood exactly what was happening, and nobody tried to stop it, because nobody could honestly argue the premise was completely wrong. Now let's be clear about something before we go further. Zuri James is 11 years old. She is a volleyball player, according to her mother, Savannah James, who LeBron said is absolutely done with basketball players in the family and has made her position on that subject extremely clear. Zuri was on the court because she is LeBron's daughter. She has been around the game her whole life, and she has naturally absorbed some of the fundamentals just through proximity. LeBron bragged about her handle and her form himself. He was proud of her. He was not suggesting she was ready to play professional basketball. Charles Barkley was not seriously suggesting the Lakers sign an 11-year-old volleyball player. What Barkley was doing with the precision that only someone who genuinely does not care about consequences can execute, was pointing at the Lakers roster and saying that it is not particularly difficult to be better than some of the people on it. The 6th or 7th best player on the team comment is not really about Zuri. It is about the Lakers. It is about a roster that has been struggling to find its identity all season, that has lost 5 of 7 recently, that is 6th in the Western Conference, that features role players who have been inconsistent to the point where a pregame workout clip from an 11-year-old could reasonably generate this conversation. That is the actual joke. And it lands because the actual joke is true. Let's talk about LeBron's response to the Barkley comment specifically, because his reaction tells you a lot about where the relationship between these two men actually stands. LeBron heard the clip. He was asked about it after the game when he described the pregame moment with Zuri. He handled it with the kind of practiced grace that a man develops after 22 years of being on the receiving end of Charles Barkley's commentary. He talked about what the moment meant to him as a father. He talked about Zuri being a volleyball player and not wanting to get his wife mad by suggesting otherwise. He kept it warm and personal, and did not take the bait to get into a public back and forth with Barkley over a joke about his daughter. That restraint was probably the right call, because the moment LeBron engages with Barkley's jokes directly, he gives them more oxygen. The best response to Charles Barkley is usually to say your piece about what actually matters to you, and let the commentary be commentary. But here's the thing about the Barkley-LeBron dynamic that makes every single one of these moments carry more weight than a typical analyst-player exchange. Charles Barkley and LeBron James have been sparring publicly for years. This is not a new relationship, and it is not a friendly one. Barkley has been one of the most consistent critics of LeBron's off-court behavior, his organizational influence, his relationship with the media, and his habit of what Barkley sees as narrative management whenever things go wrong around his teams. When the Lakers were struggling earlier this season, and LeBron's presence in the lineup was producing demonstrably negative results according to every available metric, Barkley did not hedge. He went on Inside the NBA and said the Lakers need to turn the team over to Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. He said you cannot pay someone $50 million a year to be the 3rd best player on a contending team. He said it clearly, on the record, and dared anyone to challenge the logic. Nobody really could challenge the logic, because the numbers supported it. The Lakers were 10-4 without LeBron to start the season. Since his return, they are 24-20. The lineup data shows they are outscored by 8.4 points per 100 possessions when LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves share the floor simultaneously. The team's 3 most important players on the court together makes them worse. That is not a Charles Barkley hot take. That is box score reality. So when Barkley uses the Zuri moment to get in a shot at the roster, it is not coming from nowhere. It is coming from months of watching this team struggle in ways that he predicted, and that the people defending LeBron's presence on the roster have been unable to honestly rebut. The fanboys' reaction to the Zuri joke was predictably proportionate, which is to say, disproportionate to what actually happened. Social media filled up with people saying Barkley had gone too far by bringing LeBron's daughter into it, that family is off limits, that this crossed a line that should not be crossed. Let's address that reaction directly because it deserves honesty. Barkley did not say anything negative about Zuri. He said she handles the ball well and has good form, which LeBron himself confirmed. He said she would be the 6th or 7th best player on the Lakers, which was a joke at the expense of the roster, not the child. Nobody watching that segment walked away thinking Charles Barkley was criticizing an 11-year-old girl. The joke was about professional basketball players whose performance has been inconsistent enough to invite that specific kind of comparison. The people who wanted to make it about disrespect towards Zuri were looking for a way to make Barkley the villain of the story because they could not make a convincing basketball argument in response. That is the tell. When the fanboy reaction goes straight to personal offense rather than statistical rebuttal, it usually means the statistical rebuttal is not available. LeBron's actual post-game comments about his daughter were the best part of this whole story, and they deserve to be treated with the sincerity they were delivered with. He talked about missing moments with his kids throughout his career. He talked about what it meant to have his daughter want to come on a road trip and spend time with him. He took her to Alcatraz. He took her to see the Golden Gate Bridge. He went to dinner with her the night before a professional basketball game because having that time with her mattered more than whatever extra preparation he might have gotten otherwise. He walked off the court holding her hand, and when he talked about it, his voice changed. He called it special. He He said having a daughter has softened him in ways that being a father to his sons does not fully replicate. He said it is a different kind of love, and he meant all of it. That is a real moment. A real father talking about his real kid in real terms that anyone who has children can recognize immediately. The warmth in how he described the whole trip was not performed. It was genuine. And it produced a genuinely beautiful pre-game court moment that went everywhere on social media before Charles Barkley repurposed it. The Barkley comment and the LeBron reality can coexist without either canceling the other. LeBron can be a loving father who treasures every moment with his daughter and also be on a roster that has legitimate issues. Both things are true simultaneously. Barkley's joke was about the second thing. LeBron's post-game comments were about the first thing. The people who tried to turn this into a story about disrespect to a child conflated two completely separate conversations. What the whole episode actually reveals, if you strip away the fanboy noise and look at what happened clearly, is the specific kind of chemistry that makes Inside the NBA the best sports talk show in television history. Barkley watches a sweet father-daughter moment, gives the pregame footage 30 seconds of thought, and finds the one angle that is simultaneously warm enough not to be mean and pointed enough to land as genuine commentary about the team's roster situation. Ernie says he owes the Lakers an apology. Kenny laughs. The audience gets the joke because they have been watching the same games and they know the joke is not entirely wrong. That is not disrespect. That is four men who know basketball, know each other, and know how to find the exact right pressure point in any given moment to make the conversation worth watching. Barkley has been saying for weeks that this Lakers team needs to figure out what it is. He has been pointing at the lineup data and the Western Conference standings and the coaching press conferences where J.J. Redick admits after 57 games that he still does not know his team's identity. He has been saying Luka should be the alpha and the organization should commit to that fully. None of that has changed. And Zuri James's dribbling routine on a San Francisco court gave him the most efficient delivery mechanism for that ongoing argument that this entire season has produced. Chuck saw the clip. Chuck did the math. Chuck said, 6th or 7th best player, and the LeBron fanboys could not find a basketball number to put in front of that joke and make it less true. Charles Barkley turned a sweet father-daughter moment into the most efficient Lakers roster roast of the entire season, and the fanboys had absolutely no basketball argument ready in response. The joke landed because the numbers behind it are real. If you see exactly what Barkley was actually saying here, hit that like button and subscribe right now.